LinkWorks is digital's newest workgroup integration framework. LinkWorks has thousands of customers in full production, and LinkWorks is being used by our customers to help them improve their ability to compete in a global market where industries are being consolidated every day. LinkWorks customers are using LinkWorks to help them get their products and services to market faster, improve quality, and improve their profit margins. They're using LinkWorks to help them create organizational business processes that run across the functional areas of their company. They're using LinkWorks to integrate engineering, manufacturing, finance administration, sales and marketing, research and development effectively together with one another so that information, business processes can flow smoothly between these different departments. They're using LinkWorks to improve the efficiency and productivity across the entire organization. LinkWorks is helping them preserve existing computer assets and investments in hardware, software, networking, and training. LinkWorks is helping them integrate their business processes and practices across the entire organization as opposed to just within a single function. And LinkWorks is helping them create a secure, supportive network environment that their users are happy with. Throughout all of this, LinkWorks is helping them gain control and manage their information in a much more effective fashion. What is LinkWorks? LinkWorks is organizational productivity software. LinkWorks does for organizations what personal productivity software did for individuals. But LinkWorks is designed to help an organization move information, move material from one department to another or between work groups cleanly and efficiently. LinkWorks is an application integration framework that group enables existing applications running on existing desktops with sharing, electronic routing, and ad hoc document management capability such as version control. LinkWorks supports your existing desktops, including OS/2 Presentation Manager and Windows PCs, Macintosh, and Motif workstations. LinkWorks also provides a secure client-server computing environment that helps you make sure that information is passed between departments with the correct level of security and access. Basic LinkWorks capabilities include event tracking and notification. LinkWorks will tell your people when something important has happened and notify them that they need to take action. Ad hoc document management capabilities include version control and electronic signatures. Mail and group sharing are an integral part of LinkWorks. Any application running with LinkWorks gets electronic signature approvals and electronic routing capabilities. Shared filing is a central part of LinkWorks, and administration and management of LinkWorks is as easy for the system administrator as LinkWorks is for the users. Everything is done with menus and point-and-click mouse actions. Now let's take a look at LinkWorks in action. We're going to start LinkWorks by opening up the Program Manager and double-clicking on the LinkWorks icon. LinkWorks is a client-server application, so to log in, we type in our name, and we type in the password. A LinkWorks user can sign into their account from any Macintosh, Windows, or Motif workstation on the network. This is the basic LinkWorks desktop. Across the top of the desktop, we have menus to let the user reach any and all system capabilities. We also have a menu bar so the user can quickly find out or access commonly used features. On the desktop itself, we have 3 different types of icons. Some are tools, like the wastebasket. The wastebasket will allow us to throw things away during an editing session, but we can also bring something out and put it back onto our desktop at any time. If we want to throw something away permanently, all we have to do is drop it into the shredder, and LinkWorks will permanently throw this away. We've got inboxes and outboxes for mail, search capabilities, and commonly used tools in Windows PCs, Macintoshes, and Motif situations, like a calculator. And in this case, the MS Windows calculator, because we're on an MS Windows PC. If we were on a Macintosh calculator application would have started. Here's an example of a business report. And in this case, when we double-click on the icon, not only do we get the application, but we get the information associated with this business report at the click of an icon. And when we close it, the information is stored back on the server. Over here we have container icons. If they're highlighted in blue, this container, in this case a file cabinet, is being shared by multiple people. To create an object, we come to the Create button, click on it, and here we can see all the different things that a user can create during a standard session. For example, a calendar, a document, an expense form, and we have a long list of things that the user is allowed to work with on a day-to-day basis. Let's create an expense statement. Double-click on Expense Form, and we'll give it a name. LinkWorks then asks the user to identify how they're going to share this. Is it going to be public with unlimited access rights for everyone? Is it going to be personal, where only the creator of this expense statement has access to it? Is it going to be standard, where access is given according to the user's organizational unit? Or for notification, where the object can be read outside the reporting line? We're going to make this public. And now we have our expense statement. To edit the expense statement, just double-click. And we have the expense statement. Now we can type in our own name. And put in some information. Let's say we went 23 miles. When we save this, we're saving the information on the server as opposed to the local PC. This is a true client-server application. To file this document off the desktop, we just pick it up, and we're going to drop it into the expense folder. The goal here is to make it very easy for users to effectively manage where they put information and how they put information on their desktop. Next thing we're going to do is show you how LinkWorks can make it possible to share information with multiple people separated across the company very easily. I'm going to open up the Project Deliverables file cabinet on Jerry Green's desktop. And as you can see, we've got break-even reports and business reports and demonstrations associated with this particular project. Now let's go to another workstation, Amanda McDonald's workstation. And as you can see, McDonald is not as neat as Mr. Green is, but we're going to take one of Mr. McDonald's documents, in this case a product update, pick it up with the mouse, and drag it on top of Project Deliverables, the same shared file cabinet that was visible on Mr. Green's desk, and drop them in. Now back on Green's desktop, you can see that LinkWorks has told Jerry Green that the Project Deliverables file cabinet has been modified. Something has been added to it by McDonald. Now Jerry was notified of this change because he had registered interest. That's what this little red icon, this little red exclamation point means up beside the Project Deliverables file cabinet. LinkWorks will tell Jerry whenever a change has been made. So we'll acknowledge this message. And as you can see, the product update that was on McDonald's desk is now visible to everyone who has the Deliverables project file cabinet available to them. We'll double-click on the product updates document. We'll expand it to the entire screen, and Jerry can see that it looks pretty good, but we could make a content change or a formatting change. Let's just make a formatting change here and change this to 20-point type, and we'll make it italic. And now save it so that other people on the system can use it. Now one thing to keep in mind in a shared situation is multiple people have access to this file at the same time. But LinkWorks makes sure that no one can edit this document when someone else is working on it. When it's double-clicked on, they're told that the product update has been locked by the marketing manager, Jerry Green, at this particular date and time. So LinkWorks prevents multiple people from editing a document simultaneously. We're now back at Jerry Green's desktop, and we're ready to save this information, or this version of the document. So we'll close it. We're going to save changes up on the server. And if we wish, we can turn this into an official version by coming over to Versions, Save Version, put a note on it. We can also electronically sign this document off by approving it, initialing it, or locking it. We'll just approve it. And a password will make our changes known to everyone else. LinkWorks gives version control, electronic sharing, and electronic signatures to any piece of information that is created or managed within the LinkWorks environment. Let's take a look at LinkWorks capabilities in the electronic routing area. We'll use our expense folder. And as you can see here, this is the document that we created earlier, San Francisco 1994, and we're going to add a workflow to this. We'll come up to Objects and add the workflow. And right now, Marketing Manager Jerry Green is the only person that has access to this. So we'll add some more people. Now LinkWorks knows the organization. Who, for example, is in the documentation department? The people in the finance department, the legal department. We can even cross all the way over to the sales organization and find the people in the sales department. But an expense statement is going to have a very traditional or standardized workflow. So we have a workflow blueprint capability. And this is a marketing expense statement, and by double-clicking on that, we'll automatically fill in the workflow. So in this case, we're going from Jerry Green to the admin assistant, and then if Jerry Green created this, then it has to go to the VP of Sales and Marketing for signature. But if it was one of Jerry Green's people, it would go to Jerry Green, and then it would go to accounts payable. To modify this workflow, we just click right here, and click on Add, and we can easily add an individual to the workflow. If the person is in the wrong spot, we can pick them up and move them across. Now we have a serial workflow here, a conditional statement here, and we're back to serial there. We could also pick and drop, and now we've gone from serial, conditional, to a parallel workflow. Once we're done, we just click on OK. And we now have the workflow symbol associated with this. To send the workflow on its way, we just pick it up, drag it onto the outbox, and release it. Now here's a workflow that we've already sent out, Chicago 1994. I can click on my information button. This information window shows me that it was created by Jerry Green at this time and date, and it was last changed at this time and date. And I've got a note to all the other people associated with the workflow. Please move it through quickly. College tuition bills are due. If I want to know where it is in terms of the workflow, just click on the workflow button, and I can see that it's no longer on my desk, and the red mark identifies that it's on the admin assistant's desk right now, waiting for her approval to move it on through the system. At that time, it will move through the rest of the workflow. So LinkWorks keeps track of who's got it and tells all the people associated with the workflow where something is at any given point in time. Let's look at how LinkWorks makes it possible for you to put new front ends to legacy database applications. We've just opened the Policy and Procedure Manual, and we're double-clicking on our W4 icon. In this case, we're using Borland Object Vision as the forms package, and we can make all sorts of changes to this form. For example, name changes, and dependent changes. When we save our form, we're not saving it locally on the PC. Instead, using LinkWorks and the network, we've just updated possibly an IBM or a VAX-controlled database in personnel. LinkWorks is very easy to manage as a system. We're now looking at the system administration window, and we've got two additional object or icons sitting on the desktop: a system administration capability and a system configuration. Systems administration is what the system administrator uses to control users, adding users, changing their capabilities, changing their privileges. And system configuration is the tool that is used to modify menus, change the button bars, create tools, encapsulate new applications. Let's start off with system administration, and a double click will bring up the system administration window. And here, and in this window, we can do things like modify the profile that a user uses when they sign into the system. So for example, if we click here, and we just changed Jerry Green's marital status, so let's let that be reflected. We're going to change Jerry Green here, and right now his surname is Green, but we'll make it Green Smith. We can also do things like change the tools. This is also where you control what tools Jerry Green is going to use on different desktop platforms. Right now we're using a DOS PC with MS Windows, and if we were doing text or documents, we'd see that we would be using Word for Windows on an MS Windows PC, but we could also use WordPerfect or DeckWrite or WordStar. If he's on a Macintosh, Microsoft Word, though he could be using WordPerfect. And if we were on a Motif workstation, WordPerfect, DeckWrite, or the Deck Windows Notepad. Workstation access is also controlled via LinkWorks. Another reason that this is a very secure environment. By clicking on workstations, we can see here are the LinkWorks desktops in our configuration, and Jerry is permitted to sign in or log into all of them right now. But if we wanted to limit Jerry to this station, and that station, at this point, Jerry can only sign in on Pyramid, Mac with TCP/IP, or this particular workstation. We can also easily change the organization that Jerry is affiliated with. For example, now he's in research and development. Now he's in sales. Sales and marketing is where he is. Now he's in the systems administration area. Or trade shows. Now he's in personnel. Just that easily, we can change the department that he's working with. We can also use this capability to make changes. For example, the workflow blueprint that we used for the expense statement is managed centrally on the system. By clicking on workflow blueprints, we can see that we've got finance approvals, marketing expenses, and sales expenses as example blueprints. And if we want to edit the workflow, you can see that we have the very same window that we had from the user level to add people. So for example, if I wanted to add someone from the legal department, just that easy. You can associate a workflow blueprint with a particular type of object, a document, a folder, a cabinet, an expense statement, by clicking right here on object classes. And so, for example, right now it's associated with the expense form and a folder. But if I also wanted the ability to associate this with a drawing or a document, further explanation, just click and add. Now this workflow for expenses now works with documents, folders, and the expense form itself. Point and click operation all the way through, no macros, no C++ coding. Keep it simple on the administrators as well as on the users. When we've made all the changes we would typically want to make, we'd click on Commit Changes, and now those are locked into the system for everyone to use. System configuration is how we change the basic look and feel and capabilities given to users via the LinkWorks desktop. We can change all the error messages and user notification messages that the system presents to users. We can also use this menu, this area, to change the master documents. For example, if I click on Master Documents and scroll down to the expense form, we can easily change that template by clicking on Master Document and going anywhere that we can reach via the network to find a new expense form template to put up on the system as the new master. This means that everyone in the system gets access to the new expense form in real time when they use LinkWorks. You could also use this to put document templates together, book templates, CAD files, and the like. Configuration will allow you to change all the icons, add new object classes. For example, a business planning document that includes the table of contents, the indexes, and all the sections in a business planning document. Change the buttons in the button bars, add or remove, or change the order of things on the menus. And again, when you've made the changes that you want to commit to all the people on the system, just click on Commit, and they're locked down. LinkWorks lets you develop and deploy an open client-server environment today. LinkWorks supports several different relational databases, including Oracle, Ingress, Informix, and RDB. Other databases running on VAX, Hewlett-Packard, IBM mainframes, mini-computers, and other servers are also supported. LinkWorks supports many different servers. On Intel, we support SCO Unix. On Alpha, DEC OSF1 and OpenVMS are both supported. Several different Unix solutions are supported, including IBM AIX, Ultrix RISC, and Hewlett-Packard HPUX. OpenVMS is also supported on VAX. LinkWorks supports several different networking solutions, including TCP/IP, DECnet, PathWorks, and LAN Manager. Many different types of information can be integrated and incorporated in a LinkWorks environment, including CAD files, documents, images, faxes, drawings. LinkWorks supports many different clients, including OS/2 Presentation Manager and Windows PCs, Macintoshes, and Motif workstations. LinkWorks does not limit your choices of development tools. You can use the development tool that makes the most sense for any given situation. Use Informs or Delrina Proform if you have a forms-oriented situation, C++ or Visual Basic if you want to create a new user interface, or any other development tool that makes sense in a particular development situation. With LinkWorks, you'll be able to deliver a higher level of responsiveness to your user communities. Your users will have access to their favorite applications on their favorite desktops. You'll be able to prototype new concepts and new capabilities for your users much more quickly. With LinkWorks, departmental managers become partners requiring less support. And all of these together help you lower your day-to-day operating costs. Thousands of people are using LinkWorks every day in full production. Imagine what LinkWorks could do for you.